We are recording.
Hello, future people.
Hello.
Yeah, I don't know why I felt like doing a Magetta voice right there, but yeah. So today is Lyceum, and it's been a while since we recorded Lyceum, right?
Yeah, we did the last 3 or 4 sessions offline because, well, I classified the what we were doing in them kind of not very interesting. So we are making the HUD of the game. So maybe you
Yeah,
can demonstrate that. Can you run the thing?
I can run the thing,
Okay, so
and there
this
it
is
is.
this is what we did. And some of those things have hard-coded values, but some of them don't. So for instance, the life bar and the mana bar on the top, those things are just those values because that's what my character has. But as soon as the server changes those, it will also change accordingly. Like the bars will go up and down according to the, and they will be proportionate. So like 75 is actually 75% of the bar, and so on and so forth. I already did all that math, and then Marinho and I we did the mini map on the bottom right last time. So we have a triangle, we have a circle, and we have an image inside the circle.
Yeah, and the reason the triangle is rotating is because I didn't want to mess around with changing the semantics of the movement keys because we will have to change that back when we connect to the server again, right?
Yes.
So I just added a function to the main loop that changes the face direction of the character, and the triangle reflects that.
And just
So
for the sake of documentation, so the idea is that we're gonna have in this first draft, if the first iteration of the HUD, we're gonna have uh, three, six main components, right? So we have the name and the level on the top. We have the health bar, mana bar, and some image of sorts on the top left. Then we have the consumables and spells. So the consumables will be on the left, top bottom left with the Q and E, and the spells will be one through zero in the on the keyboard. And then the minimap on the bottom right, and then on the top left, well, top right, we're gonna have a chat, right? Because this is a multiplayer game, so you'll be able to press enter, type something, and it's gonna have a history of the previous messages on the bottom right. And why the bottom right instead of the bottom? Well, why the top right instead of the bottom left? First, because I like it, because I played Battlefield 3 when I was younger, and second, because I received feedback about the decision, which was a positive feedback from people that I asked around me. That people prefer having all that noise on the top right instead of the bottom left. Okay, that's all the context that we need.
yeah, and in case you're wondering, the reason we have a teapot is because, well, that was an image that we already had in the repo, so I just used it basically.
Yeah.
Um,
So what we want to do today? We want to attempt to do two things very ambitious, with very high levels of ambition to accomplish them in the time that we have. The first one is to make the minimap actually move as you move your character, which is going to be just an illusion. The triangle doesn't move in the map; it just rotates, and what moves is the background.
yes, what moves is the background.
And the second thing, the second part that we're going to attempt, which I don't know if we're going to be able to finish, is creating the draft of the chat. And that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. So, by the way, the reason last time I was having an issue where if I changed to full screen, the map was breaking
Yes.
because basically the reason is we can't actually use this x and this y based on the center here because these coordinates are actually relative to the image that we're using. You see?
Ah, okay, that makes perfect sense actually.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, basically we need to somehow compute this x and y based on the world coordinates of the character, um, and we need to clamp it so it doesn't go out of bounds. Otherwise, we're gonna have trouble.
Mhm, mhm.
Uh, okay, so first question: how do we know how big the game map actually is?
Actually, I think it's easier to change the question. How do we want of the size of the minimap to be?
Uh, I mean, we're going to need to do some kind of scaling, right? Because the minimap is tiny compared to the game world, probably. Um, I'm not sure actually what would be a good scaling for this.
We can put whatever for now. Just works.
Okay, so I guess we can do. So we have the character,
So wait, what do you want to
which
get?
basically I need to get the character's position.
Okay, so I know how to do that. So make a label in below face direction. So what do you want first? X position or Y position?
Let's go with X first because
Okay,
that's traditional.
okay, so X position, character dot stats dot X position.
Okay, and I imagine if I just do this,
Yes,
this should
that's
work,
Y
right?
position. So this is
All
actually
right.
coming from the server, by the way.
Yeah, which is what we want, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so then we should. Um, okay, what is the maximum X and Y position that the server can send us?
There's no there's no definition of that because there's
Okay.
no limits of what a map can be. We can establish that right now.
Uh,
I don't know, maybe 1,000 by 1,000 is the maximum size of a map. I don't know, man.
uh, let's go with 1,000 by 1,000 just for now, so we have
Put
something.
put those constants of width and height of a map in the config file.
Okay.
And then later on, if you want to change it, we just change it here, and then everything else just follows.
1,000, and then the max map height is also 1,000.
So what are we gonna do? Are we gonna make some like mappings between the image and the coordinates?
Yeah, kinda. We're basically going to say that 0, 0 uh, in the world corresponds to 0, 0 of the image. 1,000, 1,000 is the bottom right
Mm-hmm.
of the image.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then we just do some scaling to make sure that we don't go out of bounds because that would be bad.
I'm
Um,
assuming that the character, the triangle, will be on top of a single pixel.
Basically, and actually, I don't know if this will work out because here's the problem. What happens if you go to the corner of the map?
Well, ideally the client should not allow you to go over that. It should have like an invisible barrier or something.
No, no, that's not a problem. Okay, you go to the corner of the map. What happens to the minimap then? We need to either we need to have a border around the map image so we don't go out of bounds when we do the cropping here.
Wait, I don't. I understand. It's because you are worried that we're gonna there's not gonna be enough image to display because we're gonna be at the corner.
Y- yes, yes,
Ah,
that's
I see, I see, I
precisely
see, I see,
what
I see.
I'm worried about.
Well, yeah, we're gonna have to add a border for sure.
Okay, so if we just assume that the image does have a border,
Wait, maybe we should not do that though. That's gonna impact the creative process of making a map. So maybe we should add the border ourselves with Raylib.
maybe we should add the border ourselves. I
We create an
guess. I
image
guess.
from scratch and then we do a operation that puts one image on top of the other or something. Jumping like 2 pixels or something for the border. We learned how to do this before. We made an image from scratch last time.
Yes, we did. The problem is the border is not gonna be just 2 pixels. It's actually going to be a fairly large, right? Because I guess that kind of depends on how exactly we choose to scale the map image, right?
Let's make a
Because,
default for now, and then later on, when we introduce the notion of a zoom, we change that.
okay, um, okay. I guess that means we should also add pub const map
Yeah.
border thickness equals.
I'm starting to consider making a map namespace
That might be a good idea.
inside the config file. I think it makes sense.
Sure. I guess map equals struct.
I would
Um,
put map with capital M to be consistent with the color palette. And I think the Zig documentation also says the same. That when you're using a struct just for the sake of namespacing, you should capitalize that.
no, actually, when you use a struct just for the sake of namespacing, you shouldn't. You should only capitalize it if it has fields and you can instantiate it.
Really?
Yes.
I was pretty sure about the opposite, but you will have better Zig knowledge than me, so whatever.
I happen to have the documentation
Of
here.
course you do.
Uh, yes, I am prepared.
Style
Which
guide.
is namespaces. It's actually here. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta.
Wait a
Use
moment.
conventions, blah blah blah. Avoid namespaces. White space names. Here we go. Uh, if X is a type, then it should be title case, unless it is a struct with zero fields and is never meant to be instantiated, in which case it is considered to be a namespace and
Ah.
thus uses snake case.
Okay. That's pretty ugly, but okay.
Yeah, it is weird. It is kind of weird. And and then we can say this is the max width, this is the max height, and we can get rid of this. This is the border thickness, and we can say this is, I don't know, let's do 20 for now, and if it's not a good number, we can change that. Um, okay, and then um, we have the x, we have the y, um, and then we say, okay, we have the map
We
mask.
should probably make a function that grabs a Raylib image and returns a new one that puts borders in it.
Yeah, we should probably do that. Fun, add borders.
Then you
That's not
receive a
how.
Raylib object.
RL image.
Are you saying anything, by the way?
I wasn't actually. Yeah, we take an image and we return another image, right? That goes
Yeah,
normally.
and there is a function to make an image from scratch. I already forgot how it's called, but we use it.
We do. Image
Maybe
from
we actually
image.
dropped it because we discovered image from image or something.
Yeah, we discovered image from image. It's very convenient.
Okay, so let's actually create an image from scratch. Wait, can we use image from image?
Uh,
Maybe we can use that, actually.
we could. Maybe. The thing is, like if you give coordinates that are out of bounds for the image here, it breaks.
What do you mean
Like
by coordinates that are out of bounds?
because like let's say I move x to be 1,000, and I know this image is not that large, so oh, it broke. Right, because I have these constants that we introduced, but I'm not using. Let's just let's just do this for now. Oh, that actually didn't break. Oh, because this image is larger than it looks. Okay.
Wait a moment. What the fuck is that though?
It apparently rotated, actually.
Dude, what? That's really weird.
Uh, Maybe the problem actually is this. Let's say I change this to, I don't know, 2000. Yeah, that breaks. So basically, if you try to make a piece of an image that's larger than the actual image, that kind of doesn't work because it gets seg fault.
We probably can get the dimensions of the image from the Raylib object.
Probably. If we go to image, we do
There you
have
go.
this.
So maybe we should check that before doing anything else.
Mm, okay. So we have the map image, which is actually here. Let's give that a name. Uh, where do I put it? Let's put it up here. Why not? Const map image equals this. And this has the correct type. It's an image. So, all right, let's go put this back to how it was. If we say uh, width and height. Yeah, well, we can just do this, no? Minimum of the outer radius and map image uh, dot width,
Yeah, that works.
and we can yeah, and then we can just do the same here for the height. And if we make this a very crazy number, this should still work, I think. And of course, it doesn't compile because yeah, that's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. Wait a moment. Um, Go to type definition. Yeah, these are integers.
And the outer radius is probably a floating point.
The outer radius is probably a floating point because it's based on the inner radius, which is not actually a floating point, it's a compile time constant.
Yeah, but it is being probably inferred somewhere.
Oh, actually, I know what it might be. Map mask is a rectangle. Hmm. Those? Yeah, this is the problem. I mean, I mean, I guess I can do float from mint. uh,
Yeah.
and of course, minimum. Yeah, peer type resolution can be really annoying sometimes, you know.
That was good. That was very good. No, wait, but you just need to do the opposite, right? You just need to cast an int from the float of the outer radius.
An int from the float of the outer radius.
Because the width and the height of the rectangle are both C integers, right? So if you convert the outer radius to an integer, everything will be okay.
But the outer radius is already an integer, actually. It's a compile time int even.
I don't think it is actually, because a vector 2 on line 42 is probably obligating the inner radius to be a float, which means that the outer radius is also a float.
That's not how Zig's type system works.
Oh, okay, so I don't understand the error message now. How is the outer radius not a float when the map image.width was an integer?
The map image width was an integer, okay.
Yeah?
That means that the minimum will try to coerce both arguments to be the same type. Outer radius is a compile time integer, so it can get converted to I32, which is the same type as this.
Also okay.
And then it returns the same type as well, which is a problem because the width is supposed to be an F32 here because it's a rectangle.
Wait,
So
we
actually I
just
can just...
oh okay, the image was an integer. This is a rectangle and this one requires to be a float. No, okay, makes sense. I was completely mistaken. I was remembering the image things.
Okay, it doesn't break apparently.
Doesn't break, which is cool.
Uh, and then... And then... And then what?
Let's go back to the function. Oh, let's first, yeah, let's go back to the function that puts borders.
Right.
So
Add borders to an image.
let me check. Okay, are we gonna use image from image or not?
I don't think so because it has that wrapping behavior, right?
Yeah. So we're gonna generate an image and then put the map image on top of it, right? Come on, who doesn't have a GPU? That's gonna be fast. That's okay.
That's not the issue actually. It's just
That's one issue. I don't know if it's the issue that you were thinking about, but that's 100% one issue.
oh, it is one issue to be fair. Init takes a file name.
I'm not finding the function. Where is the? Oh, here. Okay, so it's gen. Oh, but maybe Zig used the uh, re redid the thing. So try to find for gen image color. Yeah, this is the one
Here.
that we're gonna use. Let's just put black borders
Gen.
on it.
Sure, that works. That totally works.
So you grab the dimensions of the original image, and then you create the new dimensions based on the border and the original dimensions.
All right. So const width is equal to image width
Plus
uh,
2 times the border size, the
two
border thickness.
times
Config dot
config dot
map.
border thickness.
Yeah, let's do the same with the height. Then you can create the image now.
Uh, Raylib gen image color uh, width
Width, height, and
height.
then you can put black in there. The same black that we are using from Raylib. Color, not that color. Not that color.
This color.
That is why I was confused. Okay.
Uh, and then we can return this, right?
Yeah, you need to return that.
Yeah, the
No, no, no,
reason
no.
this
You're not
is
gonna
up.
return. No, 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 no. This is not the return. This we're gonna actually grab that. And now we need to put one image on top of the other.
That is true. That is true. In which case we need to. How do we do that actually?
There is some image manipulation functions that I'm taking a look at. So how do you combine two images? How do you do that?
Uh, hmm. Subtract length, distance. This is just a bunch of math. From texture, from screen, unload. Oh, there's Gen color actually.
Yes, that is gene color. How do you combine two images? Can this should be completely doable. What's up with that?
Crop an image to a rectangle. Resize the image. Resize canvas and fill with color.
Dude, I'm not finding anything.
I
Border,
think this is what we want actually, no?
image resize canvas. What do you mean?
It resizes the canvas and fills it with a color, which is kind of what we want, right?
Oh, we were doing that manually, I guess. Okay, let's do that then.
Uh, the only question is where does the extra size go? Because it needs to surround the image, right, for our use
Probably
case.
offsets are the ones that you're gonna put the beginning of the old image in the new one.
That makes sense. So actually, we don't need to define a new function because we can just use that one,
I would
right?
do that anyway because we're defining some constants with the borders, and that's kind of like
Mm,
that can be separate.
that's fair. That's very fair. So resize canvas and fill with color.
You can use
Oh,
that notation, by the way.
this actually returns void, so it will mutate the image. Is that a
Let's
problem?
no. Well, actually, yes. No, that's actually not a problem because we're not gonna use the old image anymore. We only care with the one with the borders.
All right, so
This should return just void.
this just returns void. So resize canvas image dot resize canvas. The new width is going to be width. The new height is going to be, that's not what I wanted, height. The offset is just going to be the border thickness, right? In both directions.
Yes.
Let's make a shorter radius for that, because
So probably the two offsets will be the thickness, and then you can put black. This is a very convenient function. Very convenient function. Oh wait,
amazing.
this is an image thing. So I don't think we're not even using GPU. I think images live on CPU. Only textures live on the GPU.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's grab the map and let's after applying the no, not after applying the mask. Actually, it needs to be the other way around. We put the borders first, then apply the mask.
Okay. Um, should we make a copy of this?
Not, I don't think we need to because we're not gonna use the original image anymore.
Then in that case, should we do this operation and just save the image here? Like in the HUD?
Maybe, We need to, oh man, maybe we should load the image on the client.zig when we load the teapot and immediately put a board on it, because otherwise we're going to be doing that every time in every tick.
Yeah, so we should
So
do
make that a
this,
public,
right?
yeah, make that function a public function for now. Let's just call it in here.
Uh, pub.
Yeah, but you need to also do the try. So wrap that in there.
No, actually, this is a mutation, so we should do it here,
Yeah,
right?
that is fair. That is actually true.
Uh, okay. Oh, it's just HUD. Oh, that means actually we need to import the map, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have to import the map. And just for the record, this is not gonna live here. This is just because we're testing everything on the entry point. This will live somewhere else. This will actually live after you select your character and you're ready to join the map. We're just doing it in here because we don't want to have the hassle to run the server.
Map.add borders to. Oh man.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And don't forget .hud as well.
And dot question mark actually.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Okay, so
Uh,
theoretically speaking, this should already work.
this should, yes.
And it
And it
doesn't
broke.
compile. So let's go.
Parameter image declared here. Oh, because this is an immutable image actually.
Really?
Uh,
Wait, this is an
game state.
immutable image? What the fuck? Who said that?
It's because game state world character inventory. We have a HUD. If we go here, it's a HUD. Um, oh, actually, no. Why is it? This
I
is a
don't
var. It
understand.
should be mutable. It should be mutable. Why is it a var?
I think that maybe the dot notation is not doing it correctly, and we
Oh,
should
I
pass
know
a
why.
reference.
It's because this is not actually
The
this is not
object.
actually a
This is a
member
namespace.
function, right?
Yeah,
This is a namespace, yeah.
yeah. Okay,
Now this
let's
should
try that
work, I
again.
think.
Not,
Still
still
didn't
broken. Let's
compile.
go next. Expected type
Expected.
Raylib.image found the pointer. So I think the type signature of that function is wrong. Yeah, this needs to be a pointer as well. Okay,
Okay.
the image being shifted makes sense because now there's more image.
Let's move this to 0, 0 and see what happens.
I don't know
Hmm.
how to judge this. You guys chose a teapot, come on.
Uh, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I think I still have the. Yeah, I do still have it. I will just use this one because it's a square, actually.
No, you can't use use the PNG. Use the PNG.
Client.zig. Uh, here. Uh, here. We don't need
You don't
this,
need
and
to
we
use
don't need it.
the complete path, yeah.
Yeah.
I can see the borders, but it doesn't make
They are,
sense.
but they are very tiny compared to the. We need a thicker border, I think.
But what's up with that position though? You put it 0, 0 when we were in the middle of whatever.
Maybe image from image actually prevents you from going out of bounds if you use it. If you actually don't try to use a huge thingy, I guess. A huge thingy. That's a very technical term.
What the hell?
Uh, yeah, let's change the thickness. Let's make it really thick. I don't know, 2000. Why not?
2000. There's
Okay,
bonus
that's too
black.
much. That is entirely too much.
Let's put 500, man. What the fuck? We are still in the middle of the border.
Hmm.
What do you want to do?
Yeah, let's put 140 actually. And that's a magic number if I've ever seen one.
I don't understand the relationship, but okay.
Yep,
Wait,
140.
and why that's
Actually,
the case? Why exactly?
because that's the radius of the circle.
Ah, makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Okay, so now it's just time to move the image as we move, right?
Yes. So actually, here's a funny thing. The border thickness will be this, which means that
These constants should also be on the config file.
no,
35,
they
34 and
need
35.
they need to be this actually. Config.map.border thickness, and this one is outer radius minus 10.
That definitely works. Yep, that's
Nah,
perfect, man.
nah.
Congrats, man.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Okay, so now let's make it move. So
Let's
I have
make
a
it move.
proposal. Go to
Yes.
physics.zig and let's copy the shit. Okay, so
Let's
35,
copy.
35 onwards, 35 onwards, you can copy. 35 until 50, 50 until 50. No, just the 4. 4, yeah,
Okay.
that. Go to client.zig and let's paste that in the main game loop.
Here, right?
Yeah. So whenever in there.
Let's put it here. Why not?
Okay, so inside the ifs, you should change whatever is written to do character, well, game state dot word dot character dot stats. And then x position and y position, and let's do plus
uh,
2 and whatever.
well, no, we need to change the velocities, right?
There's no velocity. We're not calling
Oh, there's no
physics.
velocity. We're not calling physics, right? That is true. That is very true.
Otherwise, we would just be calling physics instead of doing what we are doing.
Stats.
X position, y position. And
Let's
the
see.
temp
Up and
angle can
down
also
should.
be nuked.
Yeah, this should be Y, right?
Actually, no, don't nuke that. Don't nuke that. Instead of temp angle, substitute the the phase direction. Instead of 1, put 2. 1 is too slow. And instead of temp angle, man, put phase direction. Instead of doing whatever the math that we were doing to make it rotate. Stats. Oh, phase direction, actually. Are we using the phase direction from stats or the one outside of stats?
I think the one from stats actually.
One,
That's not.
we need to go back again. Not there.
That's not the right map. That's the map.
We are using character.
Character
We are
face
using the
direction.
one from the game, not the one from the stats. So change the one from the game. And again, I will unify all of those things at some point. Just remove stats from that, yeah. And then put face direction in camel case.
Tilde. There we go.
Okay, now you can also remove the rotation that we are doing probably in the down there. Yeah, line, I already found it, 71. Definitely that. And you should be able to see something now.
And of course, uh,
Okay, okay.
oh, oh, this is okay. So left is up apparently.
Okay, so we need to change that. We definitely need to change that. Uh, Probably I'm doing in the physics module, I'm doing some math to fix that at some point. But because we are doing here, let's just swap the values. I hope you remember all the keys that you pressed. Swap the angles.
Okay. Oh, okay. So 0 is north. I see. I see. So I think AD 0 is north, which means it should be in W. Uh, W A should be 270. So I think I can just do this. I think face um, out.
That's very fancy
Does
keyboard shortcuts. Nice.
does that work? That doesn't actually work because um, S needs to be 180. S needs to be 180.
Maybe doing it by hand is faster.
A was left. Okay, that means we can just swap 180 and 270 like this.
Let's try it out. Is it working now?
It is. In fact, it is.
Okay. So now let's use the character's movement because you're also changing that as we go.
Let me just do one thing first. I want to double check this. Let's change all of those shoes to 20.
Yeah, but you're not gonna be
Just
able to
me.
see any difference, man. Nothing is moving yet.
Oh, that is true actually. Never mind.
That was so good. That was very good. Okay, now is the time. Now is the time. So I think the first thing that we need to do is to check if we are about to go out of bounds.
To check if we are about to go out of bounds. Why?
Because if we are, we need to forbid that from happening.
That's not the responsibility of the minimap.
That is true. So we're gonna do that in another layer, and the minimap will only follow by consequence.
Yes, that should probably be a rule in progress or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just make it move then. We are very close. I feel it.
X and Y are coordinates in the map image, which means, um, can I just? Okay, our convention is 1,000, right? As the maximum
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
either direction.
Yeah. But there is a constant about that. So anyway.
Which means we need to map 1000 to be the width of the original map. That means the width of the map minus 2 times the border, because this map is already pre-bordered.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, I mean, this is a rectangle, right? These are all just going to be F32s anyway, so let's just use from the get-go.
I like that. Stages of
All right.
grief. Marinho is in acceptance.
Uh, I mean, the thing is, if I was in, I don't know, Racket, I would definitely use ratios, but we don't have ratios in Zig, so floats will have to be.
Sure.
All right, so we need to do uh, const um, scaled scaled x. That's a terrible name, but we can fix that later.
Yeah, naming is hard.
Is is going to be a character x, uh, and this is gonna be an F32 because we need to put it in a rectangle. It's gonna be a character x, uh, floats from int. Uh, times um, the width of the world, which is in the config, divided by
The
divided
width of the
by
image?
the width of the map image. Yes.
Okay,
So
so that we are
config.
basically normalizing. I would call this normalized x for sure. We
Sure.
are
Normalized
transporting
x.
the coordinates of the character to the map, basically. Because the character actually lives in the world of the database, which is 1,000 by 1,000.
Map image minus 2 times config map border thickness.
That's a pretty huge line.
It is. It really is. Right? There.
Okay, and we need to do the same with the y also.
This doesn't work, right? Because, yeah, I must have a known result type. This is a compile time integer. So I
You
guess,
need to cast that as well.
uh, actually, I think I can just do this. Float from int. You know what? Let's do that up there. That would probably be easier. Um, yeah, let's do that. And then character X is actually going to be an F32 float from int.
And you need to do
And I need to
exactly the
do
same process for y. We are very
F32
close, and I can feel it that we are close.
float from int. And then we probably don't need this actually. And I can do the same replacing X with Y. This will be maximum height.
Yeah.
And
And then
this is
what do we
going
do?
to
Do we use
be.
those in the 55 and 56?
Oh, wait a second. This actually needs to be map image dot
With? With?
width and height. And this
Exactly.
is not actually comp time known, which means this needs to be a float from integer. Yeah. And then what's the problem? Must have a known result type.
Do the same with
Yeah, that
the.
doesn't work. As F32
Wait, why that didn't
float.
work?
Ah, madness basically.
Uh, Madness.
Because we need to type the result location of the float from int.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, let's do the same with the other with the y. And again, would that be would those coordinates be in the place of the zeros? And that's it?
Yes, actually.
Is that
Normalized
it?
y,
Not gonna, no, that can't be, man. That can't be.
normalized x and y, and then let's see what happens.
Okay, it doesn't compile. Comp
Division
time
with comp
int.
time int and c int. Division with comp time int and c int. I guess, right, because this is actually signed. And for some reason, we don't have Euclidean division in hardware, so Zig doesn't provide it.
Okay, but then how? What's the best way to fix that?
Just div floor. And then this becomes a comma.
We're very close. Still very close. No, it's not working.
Uh,
Fuck.
hmm.
What about printing the normalized values on the std out?
I guess that works. std debug print
It doesn't make sense, right? What we just saw there.
x y new line normalized x and y.
Oh, oh, they are zero forever.
They are forever zero. Why is that?
Okay, can you go back to the client.zig? I have a suspicion. Are we
Yes.
passing stuff correctly as a pointer? Well, we aren't. Line 71. That needs to be a pointer, bro. No, not that
This.
actually. Not that. No, not that. The HUD only reacts. It doesn't mutate. So that's actually correct. Something is wrong somewhere else.
Hmm.
Go to the HUD for a moment.
Go to the HUD for a moment. You mean here?
No, no, no. The map. Sorry.
Go to the map.
Yeah. So go up. No, not that. Definitely not that.
Here.
Okay. So go up a little bit. Um, so character dot stats dot x and y position. Those are the same ones in lines 30 and 31 that we are mutating on the client.zig, right? It should be exactly the same.
Yes. X, Y position and X position inside of character stats. Actually, let me try something. Let's try. Let's try. Let's try also printing the unnormalized coordinates. So we have the normie x and y. Let's just do x and y.
Sure.
Uh,
I'm gonna be pretty surprised. And another thing, why are we loading the texture multiple times? Oh, I
memory
know why.
management.
It's because we only have an image and we need to transform it to a texture every time we draw it. That makes sense. And everything is actually the Y is changing. I don't know if you're pressing something. Are you pressing something?
Huh. The coordinates are actually, I am. The coordinates are
But the
actually,
normalized ones are fucked. So I think our math is wrong. Maybe we are doing the division wrong. Let me check the math again. So what are we doing to calculate the normalization? we are grabbing we are grabbing the map max height, and we're dividing that by the map image dot height. What if the map image is way bigger than 1,000 by 1,000?
if it's way bigger than 1,000 by 1,000, um, yeah, then in that case, the normalized position is going to be kind of small, right?
Well, in this particular case, 0 even.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, this
I
shouldn't
think
be
we're
a.
doing the math wrong.
Yeah, no, this doesn't look. It should be. Hmm. Map width.
Okay.
Map width divided by, well, the maximum width divided by.
Wait. I think it needs to always be the the greatest divided by the smallest. No?
That's only true if you are doing integer division, which is actually the case.
So I think we need to do a max and minimum stuff. Like the numerator always needs to be the biggest, and in this particular case, I think the map image dot width is bigger than the 1,000.
Mhm.
So we're actually doing 1,000 divided by something greater than 1,000, and then we're getting 0 out of that.
Uh, yeah,
So we need to put the biggest number on the top, basically. No, but
I
that's not
don't think
always true though. We need to do some
I
math.
don't I don't think that will give us the correct proportion though. Whoops, and
Ooh,
it broke.
segmentation false. That's nice. Oh, but the normalized coordinates were negative. What? Negative?
Oh
How does
right, I
that
think
make any sense?
we should clamp these, right?
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Actually, that actually makes perfect sense. And there's a function in Raylib. Do you want it?
What's the name?
It's in RayMath, so you're gonna have to import RM instead of RL. I'm using RayMath in some other module. Just check it out.
Uh,
And it's the
it's
first
like this,
function.
right?
It's rm.clamp. It's the
This is
first
not
function
it.
actually.
I think it's really math, right?
I don't remember, man. Just check the physics.zig file.
Physics. RL.math. Oh, actually, I see. So actually, this is just an alias. Const rm equals rl.math. Math, if I can type right.
And then you can
Uh,
just do rm.clamp, and that's it.
okay. If I go back down, I can do.
Oh, wait, 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 wait. That's not correct. The clamp should happen only on the minimap level, right?
No, because if you go out of bounds, world, that's bad, right?
Oh, okay. So we need to. Okay, that makes sense. The clamp should also happen in the somewhere else. That makes sense.
Oh man, this is gonna be very verbose. I can see it. Um,
Really?
because this is a huge name, basically.
Ah, okay. You can make an alias for that if you want in the beginning before the ifs.
I mean, I guess. Um, const x. Uh, what the heck? Let's just use a single letter names. Why not? X is the address of this thing.
That's very good.
No, this thing.
Screw
And these
it.
are actually flipped. By the way, I just noticed.
What is flipped?
W should actually be replaced with D.
Oh, okay. That's actually another problem. The mapping of X and Y in the game and in the minimap are different. Fuck. I didn't account for that, man. Because in the game you walk X and Z, but in the minimap you walk X and Y. Mhm. Mhm.
Z.
Yeah, because we walk in 3D, right? And walking in Y is actually jumping in the game.
Hmm.
Well, but I need to fix that later. Right now we can just proceed, but that's good that I remember that. That is one of the reasons that the stats we have some duplicated data in the stats and in the game. Because in the game it makes sense to call X and Y, but in the database it makes sense to call X and Y, but in the game is X and Z. And for those type of reasons that I decided to make duplicates.
See, this is why I would have preferred actually to 0 and 1,000. I'm just going to hard code these for now, even though they are in the config. Oh, actually no. Config dot map dot maximum width.
You were saying?
Um, this is why I don't like the fact that we're using 3D rendering for a 2D game. That can make things confusing because of different coordinate systems.
Well, I mean, there's only that one. Z, X, Z, and XY. Everything else is okay.
Wait, this is an I-16 actually. That's weird.
No, the X position and Y position, they're actually I-16s. I remember that.
Okay. Float from int. Float from int. And then int from float, I guess.
No. What the heck? You can do that, but you cannot go in the map.
That's because of.
Wait, are you doing that
Okay.
on purpose or is this broken?
No, that's because of the this. Because when I press W, I'm going to press W. It's going left. See?
Okay, so let's change that. And whenever we merge this, we need to take into account that we may have to do some changes.
Okay. Um, let's see how this looks with the teapot. Actually, I'm curious.
No, let's make it proper with the real map first. No, man, I don't want to look at it with the teapot being wrong. I actually don't understand why you guys love that. You can't walk?
Apparently, I can't.
That doesn't make any sense.
Maybe the image of the teapot is too small.
Oh, you need to do what I said in the math then. You need to always guarantee that the number on the top is always the biggest.
Map.zig.
Which is gonna be very inconvenient. Good luck.
Or I could do this. Float from int. And then float from int. And then this can be an actual division operator.
That will not solve the problem. Because that was not the problem. The problem is that if the dimensions of the image, if they are smaller than the dimensions of the maximum size of a map in the configuration file, we need to swap the numerator and denominator. This is not solving that.
Uh, oh, right. I replaced the image again.
Wait, but am I wrong? Did you listen to what I said?
I did.
And what was, well, what are your
I
comments
couldn't.
about it?
Um, my comments about it are, let's see, if the image is larger than the map, then then the position of the character should actually be scaled up, right?
Wait, repeat the premise?
Like if the image is larger than the real map, the position of the character needs to be scaled up so that 1000 goes to whatever the image dimension is.
Yes. And if it's the
And if
opposite, it
the
needs to scale down.
yes, which means that
That?
okay, if the image is larger, we need to scale up, and if the image is smaller, we need to scale down, which means that this is actually correct.
That doesn't make any sense. Because
Why?
because if the max height is way larger than the map image height, that's gonna go to zero, right?
No, it was going to zero before because we were using integer division, but we're not doing that anymore.
Wait, but how are we walking through an image without having something less than a pixel? I am very confused
Uh,
right now.
rounding, basically.
Rounding. If you hold two controls, you should be able to. Yeah. And we probably should fix the angle of the guy there. Yeah, but in the future in the game you're not gonna be able to anyway. Okay, so fix the controls, man. You're still using the the wrong controls.
Uh, all right, so when we press down, D, WASD, D is right, so actually
This should be S.
D should be S.
Uh, yeah, and A should actually be W. That should be it.
Uh, the WA is to the left, so Y is diminishing, that is correct. And then W and S are actually swapped because of how the coordinates work.
Wait, going up. Oh, well, going up is decreasing Y. That makes sense. That makes sense.
And 0 is up, which means that 180 should be down. And that leaves just 90 and 270. And I'm going to guess that this goes clockwise, so this should actually be 90 down here.
Check if it's working now.
It totally is.
We made it. The map now moves. The character is still on the same place, but you have the illusion that you're walking. And that's perfect.
Amazing.
That's exactly what I wanted.
Amazing. And it works with the teapot, which is small, and it should work, and it also should still work with the Rune Midgard map, which is large. Small and large relative to the coordinate system.
Yeah, but because it's way bigger, the vision is making you walk fast.
I mean, we can just reduce the sizes here, right?
No, no, no,
The
but that
speed, I mean.
no, yeah, we would have to do some math. Actually, we're gonna have to do that. Depending on the size of the map, the amount that you walk per press needs to change in big
Why?
maps. Well, because that doesn't make sense. If you are with a lot of zoom in your minimap, walking should feel fast. But if you have less zoom in your minimap, you should walk slow. And the reason is because doing zoom is actually increasing or decreasing the perception of the map.
But that doing zoom, wouldn't doing a zoom change the map image?
Yes,
Then the size of the image is going to change, no?
also yes. And if the image is bigger, well, if you are farther away from it, you should walk slower when you're playing the game, no?
Which is already the case. The teapot is a tiny image and we move hella, and this is a larger image and we were moving way too fast.
So yeah, but I'm arguing that it should be the opposite. No?
No, because if you zoom, the image is actually going to become larger. If you zoom in, I mean.
Yeah, and if you zoom in, and you should walk faster, correct?
Which you will, because the image is larger.
Okay. And but you said that the teapot is larger than this.
No, the teapot is smaller.
Oh,
It's
okay.
tiny.
Then it makes sense. Then it makes sense. I heard you said saying the opposite.
Oh, look at me. I'm walking around the Geffen Tower.
Okay, it would be kind of nice to make a video to put in the chat there, but I don't know. You don't have OBS, right? I noticed that Mageta was the one recording that. But look
Yeah, I
at
don't have
this, man.
OBS.
Look at this. You can press the numbers, right? You can also press the numbers.
I can.
Yeah. And by the way, can you press and hold a number? Do you
I
see that
can.
there's some bleeding of the dark color that is still appearing even though it's being highlighted? Like in the
Oh,
inner
you mean
borders.
on? Yeah, the inner border. I can see
Yeah,
that.
if
Yes.
you like, we have 15 minutes left. Do you want to try to fix that? Because I still haven't figured out what's wrong with that. Let's
I
commit this
guess.
first. Format everything and commit to the HUD branch, please.
Well, there needs to be a teapot because this image is not actually committed. Uh, let's see.
But it works. Like it was very much easier than I thought, actually.
Yeah, no, if you are used to working with ratios, this is not that difficult. It's just,
Ratio, but that was not the part I was more concerned about. Oh, you can remove the to do on line 57.
right, so this is actually done now.
Exactly. That was the part that I was confused. How are we gonna do the movement of the map? But then you came up with a solution, which was the normalization of the coordinates.
Yes, if you just map the world coordinates to the image coordinates, normalize it, you can go from one to the other, and then you just movement in one becomes movement in the other, and we already have movement in the world, so by consequence, we get movement of the minimap.
Exactly. Perfect.
Let me
Perfect.
just let me just fix this because this is nonsense. This is complete nonsense. Yeah,
Which
let's
part
put a
of it?
comma here. Yeah, I was just missing a comma, basically.
Awesome, man. Very awesome.
Uh,
Another thing that I think we should ask ourselves, can we avoid having to like load up the texture every frame? Is there a way to avoid that?
there might be, but I don't know enough Raylib to tell you exactly how. Also, this is a thing.
Oh, okay. I now remember why we need to do this. We need to do this because we can only do manipulations on the images. But
No, 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 no. Look at what happens if I uncomment this unload, okay?
no, 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 no. That's not the thing I'm talking about. I'm talking about why exactly.
Look how
Yeah,
beautiful it is, Lemos.
yeah, yeah. I noticed that. But I'm asking why exactly we need to load the texture every frame. And the reason is because in every frame we get an image that we save and load it only once. We manipulate it according to everything else, and then we transform it to a texture. So we need to do that every frame because the image changes every frame potentially.
Potentially, yes.
So how are we going to avoid doing such a thing? Maybe maybe it is doable, but I also lack Raylib knowledge to know this for a fact.
It is probably doable, and we're just noobs.
Because I mean, I was pretty certain that textures are only for drawing on the screen.
They are. We turn the image into a texture and then we immediately draw it. That's all we use the texture for.
No, no, I mean, are there functions for textures to manipulate them?
Not that I am aware of.
And the answer is.
From cube map, unload, draw, draw, draw. Yeah, no, not really.
Oh, wait a moment. There is a function called update texture that allows you to pick a texture that already exists and recharge its pixels. That is something that
That
we
could
can
be.
try.
Yeah, no, that could be useful. Not
Can
not now though.
but can we extract the pixels out of an image? Because if we can, it's easy, man.
I mean, logically there has to be a way to do that. Otherwise, how are you actually going to draw the image, right?
But if that's the case, man, that's it. That's how you do it. You just extract, like we can manipulate the images and load the texture only once, and in every frame, instead of re-loading it, we just update it.
Yeah, we can do that.
So how
We
do
can
you
certainly do
extract
that.
pixels out of an image? Let's check that. Real quick styles.
No clue. Pixels out of an image. Pixels out of an image. Pixels out of an image.
Can you go to the image data structure for a moment?
Here we go. Init raw, from texture, from screen, unload, init text, create an image from. Oh, okay, that's for writing. Generate color, gradient linear.
Ooh, maybe
Hmm.
pixels is only a concept of textures. There's also that possibility.
I mean, this is an image, and there's a pixel format.
No, but that's I think it's just how you interpret the image. If it's a PNG or an SVG, I don't think that's related to what we want actually. Yeah, okay. So let's. I'm not finding it right now. So maybe if it is possible.
No, this literally is a pixel format, as in, okay, this image is in grayscale. This is in grayscale with an alpha. This is a traditional.
Yeah, this is informing us some metadata about the data. I understand, but where is the data?
I have no idea actually.
That's the question. Where is the data? Wait, it is there. A33.
No, it is actually here. Okay, so we can do data. This is an any opaque. I imagine we will need to typecast this, which is going to
Search for
be.
pixel in this file. Can we cast the any opaque to a pixel?
I don't think there is a notion. Oh, there is. Get color, get image pixel color at XY position. This is. Well, this only gives us one pixel though.
No, but let's read the implementation of that. Get image color.
This is probably an extern, actually. Yeah.
But we can search the implementation of Raylib of that function and see if Raylib is actually getting the data.
It
Doing.
should be, but it's probably doing a very nasty typecast of this any opaque. This is not const image. Yeah, it's probably doing a typecast on this pointer here because this is an opaque, a pointer to opaque data.
Oh, okay, wait. I found it. Okay, there is a function. Search for load image colors.
Load image colors.
Yeah, so let's look on the type of that. Okay, so load data from image as a color array. So this is basically getting the pixels. This is an array of pixels.
This is actually doing a copy of the image implicitly because this turning an image into a slice of colors.
No, this is just
But we
because no,
just
but this is a binding thing. This is getting inefficient because of Zig. Because in the Raylib, this returns a pointer.
but a slice is a pointer. The thing is, oh, actually, maybe this is just a pointer that it gets casted. Is it?
I found a Reddit post saying that you call this function, you're going to receive a pointer of colors, and then you can use the image width to do the classic two-dimensional using a one-dimensional array trick. I expect you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And then you can actually get the pixel by using the index on that pointer of colors that you just obtained. That's exactly what we need to do.
Okay, this is not actually a copy. This is just doing exactly. Yeah, this calls load image colors, which you just told me doesn't actually copy the image, and then it just does a pointer cast on that to
Because it
turn it
needs
into
to.
a slice. Yeah.
Okay, so let's try one thing. Go to the HUD. Oh man, this can work. I can feel it. Go to state. Go to state.zig. Let's introduce, aside of having on line 45, having the map, let's actually also save a texture that is also nullable. Okay. Then let's go to client.zig. Let's go to client.zig. And then in line 40, after line 43, let's add a new one there. And we need to do from image. So Raylib dot something something from image or something. Yeah, no,
We need
82,
to
82.
set up. No, yes, but we do need to set up an image of the proper size to do that, right?
No. Just trust me on this. We're gonna load there, but that's gonna be a lie. We're gonna update it in here after doing all the math. We're just
So we're
loading in the
just
client just to have a default value.
so we're just going to load a texture that's exactly as large as the entire map instead of just the segments that we.
Uh, well, we can try to figure out a way to have a texture exactly as the size that we're gonna use in the minimap. We can try to do that.
Hmm.
You can generate a wait. No, you can't generate the texture from scratch. You can only do you using images or existing textures.
Okay. All right. Let's do this. Let's do the following. We know the size of the thing because we can do a lookup on the config because we know the border thickness is also the radius of the minimap,
Yes.
which means that the dimensions of the texture is just twice this, right? It should be 280 by 280.
Yes. But you cannot create a texture from scratch. So how do you plan on doing that?
I'm going to create an image of the correct size, which I'm going to immediately discard, and I'm going to... Actually, we can't discard it, can we?
We can.
No,
No,
I
we
think we
can because
can.
we're
Yeah.
gonna. Yeah, I think we can. Okay, so let's use the generation image trick that we almost used before. So it's gen image color basically.
Gen image color.
Yeah, and then you pass width and height in the color. So it's gonna be
All right.
twice twice the radius, right? So twice the border thickness twice, both in width and height.
Uh, let's do a labeled block here because I think we're going to do some stuff.
Oh yeah.
So const image is this, and then
Break the
config.
line already, man. It's already ugly as fuck.
Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, let's just get rid of this, and then this needs a semicolon.
Yeah, thank you very
All
much.
right.
Okay, now you make a constant, which is the double of the border thickness, which is got a, let's call it size, or side, yeah, side works.
Config dot map dot
Border
border
thickness
thickness.
times 2. Then you put that in both width and height of this image, and you can put black or whatever. Then let's convert image to texture. I'm actually not sure we can unload this now, because we're gonna just probably cast the pixels and send it to the GPU. So maybe we cannot
But we're
defer
going
it.
to send it to the GPU, right?
That's my understanding. That's my
If we're sending it
understanding.
to the GPU anyways, that means we are already doing a copy.
Okay, so image dot to texture or something. Image dot
Um,
that. Yes. And I don't think texture, maybe texture should not be annullable, because I think we're gonna have to do this in setup every time.
okay, so it's not gonna be annullable.
Yeah. And neither should the image for that matter, because we're also gonna
We're going to
load.
need. We're not going to need to replace this image depending on the map that we're.
Oh, that was the reason then. Okay, that was the reason that we made it nullable. Okay, now go to the map.zig and let's change the to texture that we are doing there to an update and see what the heck happens if we do so.
Character dot inventory dot HUD. Okay.
Imagine that this
Map.
happening, man. That's gonna be very cool. Yeah, so in this line right here, instead of doing this, let's just do... No, we can do a const. We can do a renaming of the const texture. Let's just change what is after the
Actually,
equals.
how do we draw an image to a texture that already exists? Because we
We're
know
not
how to
gonna do
turn an
that.
image.
That's the gotcha. We're gonna grab the image, extract the pixels, and call the update texture, passing the new pixels to it.
Update texture. Okay.
No, 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 no! Don't remove that. Don't remove that. Keep the const. We're just gonna change what comes after the equals.
This is going to be character dot stats.
No, not dot stats. Dot inventory. Dot texture. Dot HUD. Dot texture, we should rename it to something else, but that's okay. Then, actually, before line 82, make another const, and let's call it pixels. And then you're gonna do map dot get image colors or something. What is the type of that? What is the return type?
Uh,
Oh, I think it's load image pixels. Load image colors, actually. Load Load. No, not draw.
Wait.
Load. What?
IL dot
Image.
load image colors,
Yes. And then you need to pass an image to it,
and we need to pass the
which
map.
is the map. Do a try on that. Yeah. And then you're gonna do online. Yeah, there on HUD.texture. You're gonna do dot update. Update texture. And the update texture function receives the array of pixels in the texture itself.
An array of pixels. So we can just do this, right?
Yes. And then theoretically, if this works, we're gonna load the texture once and then keep updating it using the map that we recalculated every frame. That's the dream.
Init from image from cube map draw.
Just check if there's an update function.
Yeah, it's not actually a member of this type. It's probably a separate function
It's
somewhere.
probably just in Raylib. Yeah. Update
Update
texture.
texture.
Yeah, this is the one. This is the one.
Update texture. Okay. So rl.update texture. I wonder why this is not a member function. It should be.
It makes sense to me that it should be. Let's see if this compiles. Okay, it doesn't compile. Oh, you need to pass the
Missing
structure, the texture. Uh, Wait, where is that complaining? Go to state.
state.zig line 47 here.
Oh, it's because you are zero initializing the HUD. I understand.
I mean, we could just move the initialization to over there because it's a compile time constant, right? The dimensions that we need.
Sure, do it then.
Um, Actually, let's put this in a function. Why not?
And by the way,
Pub
Uli
one.
joined and then left, sadly. And yes, people on the internet may say, you guys are optimizing shit. Yes, we are. We are optimizing it because, well, we want to. And it kind of bothers me to keep reloading resources that we don't need to.
And we're fixing a memory leak, actually. That's not an optimization, that's just correctness.
Well, that is fair, but then people can say, yeah, but you have 12 gigs of RAM. Why do you care?
I don't have 12 gigs of video RAM, though.
That is also fair. Wait, you probably do have that, right?
Do I?
If I remember from your GPU,
I don't recall, actually.
you probably do have 12 gigs of VRAM. But let's use this function. Go, go, go. I need to go. It's already 10.
Okay. So this is just going to be
Remove this entire.
map.
No, no, I think you need to put. Yeah, you need to put that in the state.zig. I don't think that's gonna work. I think you need to put in the state.zig.
These things should come from the server. Uh,
I don't think there's a map namespace in this file.
we can fix that, no problem. Const map equals import. Um, this is game state, right? So it
So
should be.
the dot dot, yeah, that probably components. No components, and then HUD, and then map. Okay, let's see if this works. It
And it
doesn't work,
broke.
of course. Do you have Raylib? You do. So comp time
Comp
call of
time
extern
call of
function.
extern function.
What the heck was that?
Oh, because this is actually This is actually a default. So this can't go here.
Can't you put on line 47 that the default value of the texture will be the call of this function? That doesn't work.
No, because that's an implicit, that's hidden control flow. That doesn't work.
Ah, fuck. Now what?
So actually the correct thing to do would be we need to remove this default because that's not a real default since we don't have a default for the texture, which means that the entire inventory has no default,
Okay.
which means that
The entire character can't have a default.
the entire character can't have a default. Is that
That's not gonna fly. I rather make the texture nullable.
missing inventory? Yeah, because we have a default character here.
Okay, just for the sake of I am in a hurry, let's make the texture nullable. But in the client.zig, let's call the function.
I think we're already doing that.
I don't think we are. I think you removed from client.zig.
Error. Expected type Raylib texture found an optional Raylib texture because, yeah, because map.zig, this needs to be a question mark.
Yes.
Expected const to any opaque found a slice of color, of course, because that's an opaque pointer. So,
Is there a
do I
solution to
do a?
that?
That's just a cast. It's just pointer.
Did that work? Did that just work?
It.
Haha!
Yep.
So it does work.
And we're no longer loading a bunch of texture. It works.
Okay. Format, commit, ship it. We did it. There's still some rough edges, as always, in this particular project, yes. Um, but I'm very happy today. We didn't have time to do the chat, but we managed to do this, and we even fixed the memory leak that we had before. So I'm very glad, very happy about that.
Mm, Finish minimap.
Yeah,
Is that fair to say?
yeah, that is very fair to say.
Git push.
Okay, I'm gonna finish the recording now.
Bye, future people.